Hi there. Real quick before we jump into the episode. If you enjoy this episode, or any of the other episodes, be sure to give us a follow or subscribe. It would also be great if you shared it with a friend, or better yet, left a review so others can know how awesome it is. Thanks so much. And now, the episode.
Hey there, Press Starters, and welcome to the Press Start Leadership Podcast, the podcast about game-changing leadership, teaching you how to get the most out of your product and development team and become the leader you were meant to be. Leadership coaching and training for the international game industry professional. Now, let me introduce you to your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Christopher Mifsud.
Hey there, Press Starters, and welcome back to another awesome edition of the Press Start Leadership Podcast. On this week's episode, I'll be discussing the awesome guide to giving constructive feedback. Giving constructive feedback, how to be kind and get what you want. Constructive feedback is defined as feedback around an individual's performance that helps achieve a positive outcome by building the skills and behaviors that person needs to be successful. If you know me, you know I think brutal honesty is bullshit, and I believe in constructive feedback. In the past, I've talked a lot about why giving constructive feedback is important, and that it's crucial to not be negative or overly critical of your employees. Today, we're going to talk about how. Here are 10 tips on giving constructive feedback. 1. Have a purpose. Have a purpose beyond telling someone they did something wrong. In other words, make sure it's more than a feeling you have. If you're planning on starting the conversation with, I feel like, it's time to go back to the drawing board. Instead, make sure your feedback contains something objective, measurable, and most importantly, actionable. Number 2. Make sure it contains something of value. Often, this is the difference between feedback and criticism. If you're not adding something of value to the conversation, aren't you just telling someone what they did wrong? Create an opportunity for learning, growth, and or action. That is why it's called constructive criticism. You should be able to build something from it. Number 3, do it privately. Find a private place to have your conversation. Don't give an individual in-depth feedback in front of others. Check with the employee to see if it's a good time before you talk, especially if it's something serious. However, if someone puts you off too much, be courteous, but get it scheduled. Don't let them brush you off. Number 4, do it in person. It's always preferable to give feedback in person. If for some reason you aren't able to do that, COVID precautions, etc., speak face-to-face on a Zoom call. It's important to see the person's face and their true reactions. If it's not possible, a phone call is next best. Email should be the last in line, especially for something important. Number 5, use your words. If you do have to send feedback via email or some other form of text communication, use your words. Do not use emoticons. It's easy enough for things to be lost in translation these days, so don't add fuel to the fire by sending someone a smiley face and a rocket ship. Number 6, give feedback within a timely manner. Have the conversation while it's fresh on everyone's mind. It will always be harder to bring it up later, so try to have the talk within a couple days of an incident. Number 7, be impartial. Do your best to treat everyone the same way. Don't give one person a piece of feedback unless you would give it to other employees in the same situation. Number 8, be sincere. Mean what you say. Don't say something just because it's your duty. You don't have to follow the ever-popular shit sandwich model if there's no poop between the bread. Number 9, give praise when deserved. Constructive feedback doesn't have to be negative feedback, and you don't always need to tell someone to improve something. If they've done well, just say so. And number 10, be respectful and listen. Just because you're helping someone doesn't mean you need to be an asshole. So mind your tone. You're a leader, not a boss. Also, chances are the person receiving the feedback will have something to say about it. So listen to how they feel about it and take it on board. In a nutshell, be kind and let your employee know what's working. Then let them know what isn't working and what could be improved. Tell them what the outcome of improving and or changing their behavior would be, and do your best to follow the 10 tips above. That's this week's episode of Press Start Leadership Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, thanks for being awesome. Give us a follow, a like, a share, and even a review if you feel like it. We'd really appreciate it. Cheers. If you haven't downloaded my free ebook, 5 Heroic Leadership Skills, click on the link in the description. Tune in next week for your next episode of Press Start Leadership Podcast. Thank you. Oh, hi. And the episode's over, but thanks for sticking around till the end. Be sure to check out more episodes in the playlist and new episodes every week on Monday. Follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Don't forget to leave a review. Thanks again for being awesome.